So not too long ago, we received a challenge from one of our mutual friends to take a Tony's pizza from that you can get at your local grocery store freezer section. So challenge accepted. So here we have the Tony's, just a regular plain old cheese pizza here, fresh out of the box, the way that it came. All right. The challenge was to be able to doctor this up and make it into the most gourmet style Tony's pizza that I possibly can do. So we're gonna do that right now. So I have my oven already preheating to 400 degrees here. And while we're waiting for it to come up to temperature, we're gonna doctor this baby up. So I'm gonna start off with some garlic salt, all right? And in our household here, you can't have too much garlic. We're not gonna overkill on this, but we're gonna put a generous amount of garlic salt on there. So that's pretty good. Next thing we're gonna do is throw some basil on there, some sweet basil that you can get in the spice section at your store. Again, I'm not going to overkill this, but I want it as even as possible distributed throughout the pizza. So that looks pretty good. And I don't measure anything. I measure with my heart. So I think, and I'm sure that my wife will agree with me, we need more cheese on this pizza. So we're going to start off with your standard grated cheese that you can get in the pasta aisle at the store. This is Parmesan or Asiago and Romano blend. So we're going to sprinkle some of that on there. Okay. But wait, there's more. That still's not enough cheese. So we're going to take this 6 cheese Italian style blend that we got here, and we're going to add even more cheese to this. And there is no art to doing this. You just add as much of this as you want. I'm going to make a nice layer of it here. And spread it out. Take it and put that loose stuff on there. All right. Last but not least, before we throw this in the oven, we're going to take some pepperoni that we have here. We're going to add some pepperoni to this sucker here. I start from the outer edge and I work my way in.
Maybe you should also mention that you have the benefit of having worked in a pizza shop in your younger days.
That is true. I worked at one point in time I worked in a pizza shop in Hummelstown. This is going back probably a good 25 years now, but yeah, I learned the art from Vince Colora, who's sadly no longer with us, but one of the best in the business. If you know Piazza Sorrento in Hershey, his son, a lot of people know who Pops was, that had Palermo's Pizza in Hummelstown on Main Street. And that's who I actually worked for back in the day. His son is the owner of Piazza Sorrento in Hershey now. So I've known the Colora family for many, many years. So here's what we have doctored up here. Our Tony's pizza that we doctored up here. Now we're going to bake it off at 400 degrees for about 19 minutes according to the box directions, and we'll see what we have then when we pull this out. So we'll see this again in about 19 minutes. I'm going to set my timer here, and away we go. All right, so we have now reached the end of our 19 minutes on the pizza in the oven. So I'm going to pull this out here and see what we got. Oh man, this looks good already. So now I'm just gonna cut this into 4. I'm not gonna bother cutting it into 8 because it's only me and Beth here.
It smells great. I was getting hungry just smelling it cook.
It did. It smelled really good. Anyway, so seems to have a good crunch to it. So all right, I'm gonna plate this up here, and then we are both going to give this a taste test and see what we think about what I've created here. So
Okay.
I will take a small bite of this here. Certainly cheesy. I think I did pretty good. It's a definite improvement upon just the plain old Tony's pizza here. So I'm gonna grab the camera here now and let Beth take a bite of this, because
don't mind me looking horrible.
Really, it's her opinion that matters.
So this is a huge improvement. This is a huge improvement over like the plain box pizza. Like, you have it seasoned just right, and then of course you can't go wrong with too much cheese. So I call it a win.
Now obviously we just did some added seasonings, like I did the garlic salt and the sweet basil. We added some extra cheese to this. We put pepperoni on this. I mean, you can go even further. You can put other meats on this if you wanted to. You could put veggies on this if you wanted to. So we kept it fairly simple. but you know, so Beth, what on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 of course being the best pizza you ever ate, where would you rank this at?
I'll give it a 9 because it's not as good as your pizza that you make from scratch, but it's close.
I mean, I don't know that I'd quite go that high.
Well,
I mean, because it is a frozen grocery store. It's a Tony's frozen pizza from the grocery store. So keeping that in mind, I would say I probably was able to doctor it to, a solid 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's definitely good for, your typical frozen pizza that you can get out of the grocery store case. It is a vast improvement, but it's not. It doesn't beat homemade. It doesn't beat from scratch or anything that you could get from a pizzeria. But for doctoring up a frozen pizza, a plain Jane cheese pizza, I think is pretty darn good.
see, when I said not like 9, I was thinking like the flavor of the toppings and stuff. Like the overall pizza, yeah, I'd have to agree with you somewhere between a 7 and an 8 because, like, yeah, it is a frozen crust but yeah, as far as the flavor goes, it's great. Like again, not as good as your homemade pizza from scratch, which you can make me anytime you want. But yeah, it's overall pretty good. So I would say that you not only met the challenge, but you exceeded the challenge by proving that your wife, who is a picky eater, actually likes the pizza.
Yeah, it's been fun. So this has been the Tony's Pizza Challenge here, doctoring up a Tony's Pizza, and we get a thumbs up from both Beth and I.
Thumbs up.
Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Maybe we'll do another one sometime for you.